The thing that I love about the Wise Guys teams is that you guys have a knack for finding the most passionate founders. They know what they're doing, they believe in what they're doing, and nothing is going to stop them.
It is really intense, I have to say, but I really enjoy it because I feel every day I'm totally evolving in this program, and I see that I have so many weapons already.
It's challenging at times. We come with a strong background of doing a lot of things at once, but it's just amazing to be next to the teams, showing all the creativity you can to help them. So it's not something you have to deliver, it's very creative work, and that's what I'm very surprised with. I really like it.
I think the best of the people part always. You already know everything, but here the borders are infinite, just so much things to learn.
One of them is the passion, and the other one is how much we care about each other. Among everything, we are a team that really likes to spend time with each other, and part of that is because we all share the mission.
Because I always had the feeling that this is the family that I have.
This is not a job, this is what we love to do. I think when you can mix that one, it's great. We just have to sometimes understand that, hey, there is more people around us, that we have to put some time for them.
For us, it was mainly like a crash course startup MBA, basically, kind of. It's kind of like a bottle of good wine, kind of that keeps getting better all the time.
I mean, Wise Guys team is what keeps me energized through everyday life. When I started working with the startup scene, Wise Guys was my kind of entryway, so I feel like it's a family. I'm like an adopted startup Wise girl.
I just remember one scene from the Tech Chill 2 months ago when you had the demo day with Swedbank. Nearly all the startups were nearly crying when they said goodbye to the mentors. They can really feel the energy, and I think culture beats everything. And I also see Wise Guys as an execution machine.
Yeah, and people ask that why do you do that? There is no money, and very many accelerators have failed after a year or two. I believe that if you really want to do it, if it's your vision, and then you just can't give up, and you will figure it out how it works.
And you have to pitch at the big stage, right?
Yes, my hands are already shaking.
It's too easy for us because this whole month startup Wise Guys, every day we preaching, it's easy for us.
Now we are only going up, and only the sky is the limit.
This is love for what we do at the end of the day, and this is our life that we want to have.
I already know that when it's over, then I'm gonna cry.
3 minutes of stage and now back to work.
Welcome. Welcome at Startup Wise Guys, everyone who has joined us. Happy to see people checking in. Today we are here to talk about our next upcoming Wise Guys SaaS Milan acceleration program. It's Louisa here, your host of today, and I have 3 amazing people who will help me to answer any questions that you have. So giving the word to them to make introductions, let's start with the ladies. Daria, the floor is yours.
Hello, everybody. I'm Daria, and I'm Scouting Manager at Startup Wise Guys. So we, together with Nicola, facilitate the selection process for all our batches. And we are your people to ask any questions in regards to how we select startups, what kind of startups we look for, and anything else in between.
Nicola?
Thank you, and hello, everyone. Thank you, Louisa, for the introduction. So my name is Nicola. I'm also Scouting Manager at Startup Wise Guys. And as Daria already mentioned, we will be happy to answer all of your questions related to the selection process and what are actually the most important criteria in order to be selected to the program.
And our only wise guy of today, Gio.
I have to make this contrast, so you look more red in this occasion, right? So hello everyone, I'm Giovanni Scuri. I'm the Managing Director of the SaaS program based in Milano. So my role is to summarize it, is mainly scouting for the startups, working with the scouting team to find talented founders to invest in, get into the program, and then work with them during the 5 months to help them grow and achieve their objectives. So this is, in summary, my role. So in case you get into the program, you will be seeing me almost on a daily basis. So
Yeah,
I'm happy to tell you more and answer all your questions today. So you know if this opportunity is something interesting for you to pursue or not.
Yeah, Gio, you basically, when the program starts, Gio becomes like your third, fourth, fifth team member or something. The whole Wise Guys team becomes, but especially Gio he's part of the batch. So a little bit of housekeeping. No matter where you are watching us today, use the comment section of the stream to ask your questions. We do see them. We are here to answer them. So just feel free to type them there. I have a list of questions already prepared, but I will be checking the comments and I will make sure that we answer anything that you want to know about the program. But let's start with, so the program itself, Wise Guys SaaS Accelerator. So Gio, a question for you. Who is this program for? And what are the most important dates to remember for anyone who is watching? Application deadline, when the program starts, when, what, for whom?
So maybe I can start a little bit with the dates and the timeline. So right now we are already we have applications open. The deadline is May 5th. The program will start at the end of May, May 30th, and will go on for around 5 months. So we're talking about it's a summer batch that will finish around October, mid-October, something like that. So that's in terms of dates. Who is this program for? So if you are working on a B2B startup focused on, it could be SaaS, or you don't have the SaaS model yet, but the most important thing is that it is B2B. You have a fully dedicated team that is working right now on the business. And you got to a stage where you're looking for funding, and most importantly, you're looking to support all different kind of resources that you need at this stage, and then you should apply. So these are, I don't want to go into the details. We're going to do this later on, but these are like the main things that you need to check in order to understand if this is suitable for you or not.
Yeah, for sure. We will cover deeper all the requirements and everything. A little bit more about the program before we go into
Maybe,
scouting.
Louisa, can I just, sorry to interrupt you. Maybe I missed an important point, which is this program is a hybrid program. So it takes place, yes, it is in Italy, but it's an international program. So we have both Italian startups and non-Italian teams. So one of the requirements is that you should have interest in the Italian market, or you're already operating in the Italian market. So that's an important thing that you need to take into consideration. Don't get scared if you don't say no if you are not in Italy yet, because it doesn't matter. But if you understand that the market, there's a potential in the Italian market, or you want to explore that, then we can have a conversation.
Yep, for sure. We will cover that as well a little bit more, but very important details. So yeah, before we go into scouting the process and the requirements, can you give us a little bit more about, you already mentioned the program itself. So what do startups get if they are selected? So we have the program, the deal, maybe you can give us a brief overview of that, and then we will kind of take it apart in the details. Gio.
Okay, so in terms of financials, the deal is up to 90,000 euros in cash and in kind, so it's a mix of both. So this is the standard deal, and there's always room to negotiate a deal, but it really depends on a case by case. So that's one part. The rest is the program. So what does it mean? So by entering this program, you're having access to a whole set. It's like a magic box of resources that you're going to access that will focus mainly on helping you solve problems and challenges on different pillars of your business, starting from the company building, so everything operational, financial side of things, and so on, to growth, business development and sales, to fundraising, pitching, and product. So these are the main areas that we will focus on during the program itself. How do we do that? So there are different sets of activities that we create so you can solve your problems and help you grow. So one are workshops, so standard workshops, right? One-on-one meetings, seminars, community building activities, pitch events. And on top of all of this, there is customized support that you will receive. And this support is, so how do we decide on that? It's based on the needs that you have during the program. We need to identify those needs by doing weekly meetings. So that's why you need to see me on a weekly basis, so I understand what you need. And based on that, I connect you to the right people. I organize with my team workshops that will help you cover those topics, and so on. I don't know if I'm covering almost everything. I'm getting all around the place. But maybe another important thing is that to mention here is that you, as a startup, you will receive at least 1 or 2 lead mentors that will help you throughout the program. And these people usually, it's a commitment for them. It's a long-term journey for them. So it's not a one-time thing like a coach that will come in, focus on a specific thing. No. Mentors, usually they're industry experts, founders themselves, investors, and they're in for different reasons. They're not just in for the money, and they will help you along the journey. So this is something that you will also receive. On top of this, there is a whole list of perks that, all different kind of perks that you will receive by being part of the program. And as well, you will be part of a huge alumni network of founders, mentors that will, you can access actively yourself, asking for help. Maybe, they can become your mentors, your investors, your clients, or just ask for like quick advice. That's also a very important thing, valuable thing that you will get out of the program. So I'll stop here.
Thank you. It's actually like while you were thinking, I was like, it's a good kind of a Pandora's box. When you unlock it, it's like you get this and that and that and the community and network and everything. So it's actually quite amazing. But to get to that part and get all the amazing things that Gio already mentioned, you have to go through the selection process. So maybe I would say let's start with Daria. You take us through how the selection process looks like. We also have a question from Yekaterina about her being already a part from our P-Accelerator. So you probably will mention that also, explaining how that works. And then afterwards, we focus on the criteria. And then Nicola, that's going to be yours. So yeah, what do I need to do to get selected for the program and how the process looks like?
So the most important step you have to take is press the magic apply button, as I always say, and don't wait until you finalize this client or you finish that part of the tech that you have been working on. Apply now, and we start talking already. You get your foot in the door, and we see how we can help you. The process of selection is, well, for me, it's pretty simple. For you personally, dear founders, it's going to be a multiple call process. First, you apply, you fill in the application form, we read through it, we ask you some additional questions. If we see there is a potential for the program that you're applying to, or you are at the right stage, then we usually invite you to the pitch day. This is our internal event where you present your business and our team gets to ask some questions. And then at the end of that, we decide what kind of next steps we can offer you. If you are at the right time and at the right place in terms of your business, then you go for the due diligence process to get selected to the full-time acceleration. If we see there is something you still have to figure out, or you're a little bit too early for the full-time acceleration, then you might be sent to the pre-accelerator. There we provide 8-week course and you get to work and get your business to the right place. And during this process, you also get to meet our team. We get to meet yours. So we already developed some connection and we know each other, and it's easier to work later with us as well. If you have applied, answering the question from the comments, no, you don't have to reapply. You're already in front of us. We know you're there, and either we will reach out to you during the pre-accelerator, or we might even reach out to you in a month or two after. It depends on where you are with your tech and your business. After the pitch day, you have been moved to the due diligence process. The diligence process, on average, consists of at least 2 calls. This is usually a managing director call. In this case, you will be talking to Giovanni. He will be taking a look at your business, at your team, what is your past, and then he can also answer any questions you have about the program. There you can start touching upon the deal as well. In parallel with a managing director call, you usually go to the technical call, because at the end of the day, we invest into the technical, scalable solutions. Obviously also into the team, the most important part, but tech is also very important for us. So you get to talk to our geeks in residence. They check your tech stack. Is it scalable? How are your coding practices? Because within the accelerator, we accelerate sales, and your tech needs to survive all the wave of all the customers you're going to get during the program. So it needs to be at the right stage. And when you have done all these calls, then the best of the best gets to be invited to the bootcamp. The bootcamp is a one-day event where you get to present your product to the jury panel, and then the same people who have taken a look at your product demos, they are going to have one-on-ones with you, and basically they get to ask any questions they have. And after this, we usually follow up within next week saying, have you been accepted? Or maybe we can give you a homework before we accept you to the program, or we might say at the moment you're a little bit too early, and then let's talk later in 3 months when you have done this and this. This is the broad look at the process that we're running in the background. This is why I also tell you to apply now, because this is a lot of steps. It's only on average 5 of us and a lot of you. This means that we need a lot of time to conduct all our due diligence calls, and the sooner you apply, the sooner we can start, and the less pressure it will be on you to move faster than you might want or can do, because you're obviously running a business and you have a lot of other things going on. So apply now, we start talking, and then let's see where it brings us.
Thank you. I see questions coming in. Super happy to see that. Keep them coming. We will get to them. But now let's cover. So this was the selection process itself. But let's cover the requirement criteria. So Nicola, can you take us through them?
Yes, thank you, Liz. I'm happy to take that question. So the first and most important part is actually to apply. The sooner the better. You can apply on our website by hitting the magic button, as Daria likes to call it. Once you apply, our scouting team, our department, will evaluate your application, and we will actually see if you are eligible for the program. So what are the most important criteria in order to get selected? So first of all, you need to be a B2B startup. If you are a B2C startup, unfortunately, you won't get as much value from the program. Secondly, you need to have a working product. You also need to have an initial traction, so ideally some revenues or MRR. You also need to have a passionate and solid team of at least 2 co-founders, and obviously ambition to go global. I would say if you fulfill those 5 criteria, we'll most likely proceed with your application to the next level of our selection process. However, if you have doubts and you are not sure if you are eligible for the program, I would say you can still apply. because sometimes if we like the idea or we see the potential, we can do an exception.
And one important thing that you also mentioned already, so the team part, but what if a person is a solo founder? So can they apply? How it would be for them? Maybe how hard, not hard, why it's better to have a team? Maybe you can cover this part as well.
Sure. So we do have an exception, as I mentioned, but in general, we don't work with solo founders. Because the program itself requires quite a lot of your time and energy, and it's always better if you have a team with you and you're not in this alone. Plus, running a business alone, it's sort of mission impossible. So I would say, in general, we don't work with solo founders.
Thank you. And yeah, Daria wants to mention something.
If you are a solo founder, and this is not because you really want to be a solo founder, you can still apply. And if we really like an idea, if we decide to make an exception, usually within the first weeks of the program, we put a KPI on you to find a co-founder, or it can be also your KPI during the selection process. So if you do want to have a team, please still do apply, and then we will decide case by case.
Who knows? Maybe we find you a team during the selection. Maybe we find you the team. So that has happened.
That has happened because don't forget, it's like 60 or 70 of us now. We have a very vast network of different founders and just people. And we know when someone is looking for someone, or we know the expertise that can help you. So you never know. Maybe there is in our network, there is a co-founder for you.
Yeah, that's true. And apart from these, I would kind of call them technical criteria. There's another one a bit more complex. So geography. Are there any geographical kind of exceptions or restrictions to who can apply or not? And then there are two parts here. One is the Italy angle that I would like you, Gio, to explain more. So the program is happening in Italy. So do the teams have to be from Italy or not? You already touched upon this a little bit, but maybe you can go over that again. And then the part regarding in the situation in the world. So maybe Daria, you can take that part after Gio covers Italy.
So I will elaborate a little bit on this one. I see more questions coming in, and we'll go back to them. But yeah, so what's important for you to know is that your IP needs to be in the EU, right? So your main company needs to be incorporated in an EU country. Then that's fine. So if it is not there yet, if you're willing to incorporate in a new company in a new country, then it's fine. If this is something that you're not interested at all in it, then we cannot invest in your company, right? If you are incorporated, let's say in Estonia, then you need to have a branch. You need to open a branch in Italy, and don't worry about this. This is something we will help you do once you're admitted to the program itself. So IP in EU, main company in the EU, and the branch in Italy. So why Italy? I think maybe I can elaborate a little bit on this one. Yeah,
sure.
So understand the reasoning behind why we're asking about this. So the program, as I mentioned at the beginning, consists of a big number of mentors. I cannot recall specifically the number, but there's a huge network of mentors, investors, connectors, and supporters, right? So these people are based in Italy, and they can help you access that market. So if you're coming from outside the Italian market and you want to go there, you need some support doing that. And this is where we can help you, right? This is one. So commercial opportunities, accessing the market, understanding the market. The Italian market is a very big one with a lot of potential, but let's be clear, with a lot of barriers from language, bureaucracy, things are improving, but still the obstacles are there. So that's why you need this kind of support. So to step back a little bit, if you're not interested in that and you get into the program, so there's a big part of it, big part of that value that you're not leveraging and you're just wasting kind of your time, right? Yeah, so this is one part. Two, in order to attract Italian investor money, which we can touch upon in a different occasion in our one-on-one chat, there's a lot of investment opportunities in Italy as well. You need to have a branch at least in Italy and the company in the EU. So these are the two main reasons why you need to have that. So, and my colleagues now will touch upon the second topic, the second part of the question.
Yeah, so maybe also a little bit on Italy. So we have had a question from Sandro. They are not targeting Italian market, but can they still apply? They probably can, but my guess would be that with the network and everything, they might even kind of consider Italian market, right? Even if maybe they don't think about it right now, but if they're interested in the program.
Exactly. So this is true. So don't run away from this just because you're not interested in the Italian market yet. So as Daria mentioned, the selection process is very lengthy, rigorous for a purpose. So we need to get to know you, the business, you get to know us, but at the same time, we need to understand how we can create value and grab the opportunity together. So maybe during these conversations, we will discover, we will tell you about, okay, there's this, and this. So what do you think about, right? So can talk about it during the selection process and discover that actually there is a chance for you to go there. And then, each conversation has its own way. So don't say no from the get-go. But if you're already targeting a whole different market and you have your strategy to target that market and you're moving your team there, then I understand. All right, so yes, Luisa.
So Sandro, please do apply and let's talk.
Just to add to that, if you apply now and we decide that and you decide that the Italian market is not for you, we run a lot of different other programs. So maybe there is an opportunity for you in some other program. And if we see the fit, we will offer you that particular program. And the other question was actually for me as well. So I wanted to touch upon what kind of new restrictions we had to put on the countries we scout in. Due to the war in Ukraine and all the sanctions that some countries have brought upon themselves, we had to put an extra step of due diligence for teams who are coming from Russia and Belarus. For those who do not support the war and for those who will go through the due diligence process well, we are happy still to work with you, even though if you have been operating in Russia or Belarus before. But to be eligible, you need to not have any shareholders residing in these countries. Your business should be out of those regions. You shouldn't have any customers, or at least you need to relocate them somehow. And we also will make sure that we need to make sure that when we invest, the money does not go into those countries. From the personal experience, and also you need to be able to stay in Italy or AKA European Union for the whole duration of the program. That means that you need to have either residence permit in one of the countries, or you need to have a visa allowing you to be there for 5 months. I think this is it from how it looks now. If you have any questions, you can still apply. We have a set of questions that we will send your way when we see that you are from Belarus or from Russia. And then together with our legal team, we will discuss and see how we can proceed, if we can.
Thank you. Gio, do you want to add anything on top of this?
No, I think we covered this part.
Okay. Thank you, guys. So that's for the selection process, selection criteria. And let's come back again a little bit to the program itself and the deal. I see we have some questions. So a reminder before we go to them, if you're watching, comment section for questions. We are here to answer them. So feel free to type them here. So a deal, you touched upon it a little bit already, Gio, but maybe you can explain it more. We have a couple of people, but I will bring up Abhishek's question. So is there equity?
Yeah.
How the deal is set up? Can you kind of explain that a little bit more in depth?
Yeah, so I can touch upon this quickly. So our terms are shared with you. So one, before getting to that, because that's also important for you to know, but we have convertibles, and then it's case by case. So the details really depend on the maturity of your startup, on different factors, right? The team, the market expansion, and so on. So yeah, so the details are discussed during the selection process. So what happens is usually in the selection process, in our interviews, you will tell us what you're looking for how much, what are your terms, right? Then our standard term sheet is shared with you as soon as you get accepted to the last step of the selection process, which is the bootcamp. So before you get there, you already get the term sheet. So you get the chance to review them, go through the details, all the terms, prepare your questions, and then we organize let's call it a legal seminar, legal session with our lawyer. And through that session, she will explain to you, she will go through the term sheet and explain to you everything. So this is clear for you. Then you will address your questions. So even before you get the yes or no, you already have understood the terms, and you told us what is the offer that you're looking for, right? What are the terms, sorry, that you're looking for. And then once you get accepted, you move into the negotiation part with our partners. You discuss all the little details. So yeah, it's a case by case, and this is the process that you will go through. So, and this happens 3 times because we have 3 boot camps before the program, and before each boot camp we have this legal session, and we send the term sheet to our startups. Question in this case. And there is also an opportunity, maybe something I didn't mention, is that there is an opportunity for follow-on funding with up to 300,000 euros.
So, oh, and we lost Gio.
Yeah, it depends on
Suddenly, Gio, we lost you for a moment.
You lost me.
But sounds like that you're back.
Okay, what?
Follow-on
funding. I was saying follow-on funding. Yeah,
yes.
So follow-on funding up to 300K after you graduate from the program. Not guaranteed, but there's a possibility, right? It depends on a lot of metrics, a lot of factors.
Yeah. Thank you. So there are coming new questions about the selection, but I will cover one before about the program itself. So from Yekaterina, she asked about, so Gio, you already covered. Maybe you can go briefly again. The program itself, how it is set up, how long does it take, what is the workload during the program, what are the topics that are being covered, and maybe like what kind of workshops, one-on-ones, what are the ways that we offer startups working with the mentors?
Okay, so what month gonna be? So the program will start from end of May. Okay, so early June, it's 30 May until October. So this is the whole length of the program. Around August, there's gonna be a little break, let's say. Okay, so we can talk about these details later on. But let me step back a little bit. So the program has 4 modules. So module is a content period where you will actually be attending sessions, doing workshops, meeting people, and so on. So between these 4 modules, there are implementation periods where you just go, sell, work on the product, fundraise, whatever you need to do. So you don't need to be with us. Now, how many meetings, the duration, would answer you in an indirect way. That if you want to benefit from this offer, from this program, you need to change your mindset and understand that it will be very challenging in terms of commitment, time commitment. You will run the business at the same time, make sure you consume content and meet people that will help you refine your strategies and so on. So you need to manage like a huge schedule. So that's something you need to do. And for that, you need to be fully committed to this and see it as a structure. So you will get into a structure of 5 months, a machine that will help you structure your work during 5 months. And it's something that when usually the startups finish their program, they feel kind of lost. Okay, now what do I do? Right? So where are my one-on-ones? Where is this? Where is that? So, but that's for the good, right? Yeah, so to be specific, you need to be fully committed, not count how many hours you need to spend on these meetings. And if you have, once you're in, you should have a team. So the team is for one reason why you should have a team is because some sessions might be relevant to the CEO, other sessions might be relevant for the product people, others for the tech team, or for the sales, right? So you don't need to be there all the time. So that's also something important and why your team needs to be there so they can support you, right? And you can leverage the content properly. So I answered your question in a direct way, but I think I did that. Otherwise,
I have an add-on that I think you can elaborate on a little bit as well. So the program set up in this kind of work weeks, like program content weeks, and then implementation weeks, right? So we have this setup as well. So it means that teams have time, they kind of learn, and then they have time to use the gained knowledge and actually implement it on their own startup. If I'm incorrect, please correct me.
No,
but that's I think an important.
That's the main reason of the implementation period. So you can like zoom out a little bit, take a break, not necessarily take a break, but zoom out and okay, what happened in the last month, 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is what I need to do, right? So you can assimilate things and reassess the learnings. So this is exactly true, Louisa. And maybe another piece of info is that we share with you the schedule. So I share with you an overview of the program in advance, so you understand when you need to be on site and when you don't need to be on site, right? So mainly on site, you need to be there at the beginning of the program, mid-program, end of it. Of course, the main reason that this presence, this physical presence, creates a bond with us, with the rest of the batch, and it's very important so you can get more value out of these connections and work more effectively. So yeah, I shared an overview of the whole program, and then each module agenda is shared with you in advance so you can prepare yourself, like it shouldn't be a surprise of when you're doing what at what time, to a certain extent. There's still, things that change last minute, but at least you know that on week 1, I do this, 1, 2, 3. This is the focus. Week 2, we focus on setting the culture for the company, working on the values, right? Week 3, there's a product sprint, a design sprint, and so on and on.
Yeah.
But it's something we share with you.
And thank you for mentioning, reminding that the program is hybrid, so it's both on-site and online. But you know it already, as Gio mentioned, in advance when you have to be on site. It's not all the time, but we have an office and we have workshops on site, and you get to bond with your batch teammates and everyone. You get to have closer peer-to-peer sessions and everything. So it's a totally different gameplay if you do it on site and you get to mingle. And we'll actually show, if you stay till the end, we will show you a video from our previous SaaS Milan batch, and you'll get to hear from founders themselves. So what was the best part? And they have discussions. And I think the best part was the on-site meeting actually, and getting to work and talk with other founders and being in close proximity with them. So Daria, you wanted to mention something, or we jump into those questions that you want to cover?
I will mention something and then I will go into the questions smoothly. Touching upon the being on site, previously we had like full programs on site, and we figured out that there is a lot of value having everyone in the same room, because you have access to people right across from you, and you can't simulate the same water cooler talk in online, and it's also very important to be able to talk to people who are in a similar stage in business, who can actually advise you. Maybe they have been going through the same struggle as you are going now, and then they can actually share their own experiences. That's what I wanted to add on top of that topic. And just looking through the chat, I can see a lot of questions in regards to the stage of the product, about revenues and having people in the team and not exactly giving them equity. So if you feel that what we just shared, the criteria is you're not yet there, I still say you can and you should apply. First of all, we have, as I mentioned, the pre-accelerator. Yes. The pre-accelerator is designed for the teams somewhere from almost ready MVP to the first traction. So if you have at least a prototype, then you can apply, and then we can invite you to the pre-accelerator, and then you can get value already from there. So you will be building your product, finalizing your product, and then also you will figure out how to work with your potential customers. Maybe you can still tweak some things that you are working on. So if you don't have MVP, or you just finished your MVP and you still don't have any revenues, you can still apply, and we will see how exactly we can help you. If you have people in the team, but they don't have any shares yet, it's not a problem, and your application will still be attractive, but we will have a conversation about this, because it depends. The difference between the team member who you're paying and your co-founder is that your co-founder is sharing your vision and your passion, and who is as incentivized to push through whatever issues within the business you might face at the same speed, at the same level as you are, and support you through that process. But you don't have to have the person per se, but you will have to start thinking about it for sure when you join the program.
Thank you. So I showed Lada, you had two questions. Daria covered them, but then also Dmitry asked about MVP. That Daria also mentioned a bit more the Italian market, if we will help. But this Daria said, so if you are there, or you almost there, apply. We will find a space. There's a lot that you can gain actually also from the pre-accelerator. And this is not our last program in Italy. So that's also an important, even if you will not be ready yet for the program that starts now at the end of May, then maybe the next one is yours. And if there's a fit, we will keep in touch, and we will make sure that you kind of know about the next programs that are happening. So for anyone who's listening, we're nearing towards the end. If you have any questions left that we have not covered, please use these last moments to ask them. But as a reminder, two questions. One, which is maybe also there, you can cover this, but Giovanni, for you, what are maybe some good examples or that you have seen from the startups from the previous batches? Our last batch in Italy ended a month ago, 2 months ago. So maybe there are some good examples that you can share how the startups, with what did they start the program, and what kind of struggles they faced during the program, and how they kind of came out of the program on the other end. Maybe there are some like your favorites or something that came up, or just challenges that you saw that the programs had when they kind of applied and they were not sure how to deal with it, but then they actually found solutions throughout the program.
Yeah. Okay, I will answer. No, I'm not going to take a specific case. I would take more of a pattern that I see happens and could be in the advantage of the startups. So as you know, we have startups with revenue that with MRR that can go up to 15, 10K, right? And then we have startups that are still less than 1K, right? So teams of 15, teams of 3, right? So there's a big gap in those and different experiences. But there's one thing I would say that is common to those, and it's common in case they want to leverage this opportunity and make the best of it, which is admitting that you don't know something, or admitting or keeping an open mind that there should be another opinion about how to do things in a different way. And I've seen startups that surprise me sometimes, to be honest, that they come in with a lot of experience, people that's even older than me and more extensive experience, but they come in with an open mind. So listening first and trying to understand the other opinion, whether it's us, the team, a mentor, a coach, or an investor, whoever, right? Or maybe just an audience that you're pitching to, and they start being smart, with comments and feedback. So I think it's very important that you be flexible, you listen, you understand what the other person is saying, and then you make your own decision at the end of the day. But if you're coming in with the mindset, I know it all, I need a little bit of money, okay, they can help me with this and that, I guarantee you that you won't be able to succeed in this program. You can succeed somewhere else, but you won't get the best value out of it. And this is something, I think it would be the main thing that I would suggest people do. And I answered your question in a different way, Louisa, but this is something I see a lot of people struggle with, but I also see the difference between founders that have this kind of mentality once they come in. Be nice, be open-minded, be thorough at the same time, and make your own decisions, but be open to collect data from different sources. I think this is what could set you apart from others in the market, right?
It's a very good answer. Thank you. Very good answer. It's also reminds me that, you wanted to add?
No, go ahead. Then I will add a second part to it, which also came to mind. But go, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that even you kind of talk more about the program itself, but why Daria and Nicola are here and emphasizing that you have to apply as soon as actually you consider the program, because the whole scouting process is actually also a place where you get feedback from our own team members, from tech people, from Geo, from our partner in Italy, from our network and everything. So you are in pitch days, you are in boot camps, so you get a lot of people with whom you get to talk to, and they ask questions and they kind of challenge you probably on your product or your idea and everything. And that's also a good place where you can already learn, even if you don't get to the program itself, but the process itself can teach you a lot, or kind of direct you in the directions where maybe you haven't thought before that you should think about those things. So I think that's important as well. But so Giovanni, the second part of your thought.
The second part, which is related to the first one, is that it's very important that during these 5 months and after that, right, that we are able to work together, because this is not only the program. We talk about the program, but it's a partnership, right? So we're investing in you for the long run, not for the next year or the one after. You need to keep this in mind and see it from this perspective. So what does it mean? It means that during the program, it's the phase where we will be the most engaged and communicate. We will communicate on a weekly basis, right? So it's important to keep an open channel of what's going good, what's going bad, and most importantly, of what's going bad. So this way we can fix it. We're not there to judge or to evaluate things. We're there to help, but we cannot help if we don't know. It happened that had teams that they try to only highlight the good things, but then it doesn't make sense, right? So it's important to keep this open channel, have fun together, and work hard together at the same time. So that's what I wanted to add.
Yeah. I actually wanted to mention as well, we always emphasize what is our definition of early stage, that you need to have a product, and that during the accelerator we accelerate sales. This is why you need to have a product. But I also wanted to mention that maybe you wouldn't consider yourself already too early of a stage. Maybe you have some decent MRR coming every month, and you have a little bit of a bigger team. But for instance, you see that you're struggling with sales or finding this perfect product market fit, something that Accelerator can help you with. I would say you can also apply, and then we see, because obviously as an investor we have our limits. But if you see that there is you see there is a need on the market, but something is not letting you go as a hockey stick, as they say, then you can apply as well. We have had some startups who were a bit more mature than what we mentioned in the previous like 50 minutes. Then apply, because we're not only investor, but we do actually provide this program that has a lot of different mentors and experts and people who actually build businesses. So if you're a bit more mature and you have some struggle you need help with, apply, and maybe we can help you with this as well. And we do have some nice examples in our portfolio who have came with already decent MRR and graduated with, I don't remember, like 5 or 10x MRR. So for instance, you can take a look at Andato, and I think there is online an article that explains nicely how it was useful for them to go through the accelerator.
Yeah, awesome. That's a great example. And I also wanted to add on top of this, so the program, but it is more intense, as Gio has repeatedly said. The program is the most intense part, where you also get the most touch points with our own team and our mentors, but it does not stop there. So after the program, and already during the program, you are being connected, added to our community Slack. So we have almost 300 startups right now. That equals 600 founders. So all of them are there available. And I was still kind of hooked on the last number that we have like 40 plus nationalities, but I actually checked some data. It's 60 plus nationalities. So we have people from all over the world, and that's the magic, as Daria mentioned. So we have people who have built the businesses and they have struggled. So if you and in Italy, so if you have not even considered Italy as the market, we have had 2 batches, awesome teams there who have done 2 SaaS batches and 1 cyber batch, actually. So it's three batches with teams who are trying to break into Italy, or are from Italy and are trying to break out of it, because that's one of the magic that happens with Wise Guys. You get this internationality. So you get to connect with those people, and if you have questions, they will help you with the answers. And that's like a big, powerful extra teammate that you get when you apply to our program. So if you do consider that, then you have been seeing during this live stream all the time our website. So it's startupwiseguys.com/SaaS Milan. That's the place where you can read more, or just click the apply button, and then Daria and Nicola will take you in their caring hands and will lead you through the scouting process. You'll get to talk with them. You'll get to talk with Gio, with our already, I would say, tech team, who will talk about your product. And please do apply. Application deadline May 5th, but do not wait till the last day, even though we know that you will, but please don't. Please don't. It's going to be easier for you and for us. So happy. Thank you for everyone who listened. We have had quite a crowd today. So if you also have any questions that are left, feel free to ask them in our socials, wherever you are watching us. I'm there on the other end. I will make sure that I get the answers you need. But thank you very much. Thank you, Daria, Nicola, and Gio, for joining me today. If you want to still last words, mention something that we missed, or
no, I think just go if you are interested. I hope this this 1 hour helped you better understand what we do and if there is a match with it. So if you think yes, right, but you have doubts, still go for it. The selection process is a way to get to know each other in 2 ways, right? So go for it, and then it would be nice to see you in one of the meetings, in one of the interviews. And good luck with the rest, and thank you for attending today and spending this time with us.
Thank you, everyone, and thank you to 3 of you for joining. And for the end, let's see how the previous batch of SaaS Milan did and what do they think about the program. Maybe they convince you more than we did during this Q&A. So watch the movie till the end. It's fun. So thanks, everyone, and goodbye.
Bye. Have a good one.
Wise Guys SaaS Milan.
9 startups.
4 countries.
20 founders.
More than 500,000 euros invested.
90 mentors.
140 hours of workshops.
240 office hours.
35 product demos.
The best teams in Europe, and this is the story.
The best thing about Startup Wise Guys were the workshops.
No, the offsite. Please, the mentors.
No, seeing the company grow.
The best thing about Startup Wise Guys was being part of a family.
Sharing ideas, thoughts.
Being inspired.
And dreaming together.
Yeah!
During the program, all the people I have met, the Startup Wise Guys folks, the mentors, and of course, the alumni I had been a part of had improved me personally and professionally. Getting to know all these amazing people had been an incredible treasure find.
Meeting fellow entrepreneurs and learning about their challenges and stories. And of course, the high quality support of the Startup Wise Guys team, amplified by the level of expertise of the mentors and coaches.
Discover a methodology to scale up our business model and meet amazing mentors.
To meet amazing founders and to have the possibility to improve my entrepreneurial skills. I really want that in the next future other founders can have the same opportunity. See you soon.
Pushing. I think pushing is the right word. Because you don't even have time to find a beautiful background for this video. You have a lot of work to do.
Insightful, thought-provoking questions we had to give answers to. Also, a good review of many things awaiting us ahead on our journey.
The incredible network and the support given by the SWG family. An explosive mix to grow fast, international, and be impactful.
That we got to know some best-in-class tools and trained some very important skills in a very, very personalized way.
You will have a lot of sessions with the mentors and coaches. You will meet a lot of friendly people in the Startup Wise Guys team, and you will get new opportunities to grow your startup in Europe.
Wise Guys SaaS Milan. You can't stop us.